Dear friends and my friends and colleagues sitting on the dais, particularly Mr. Vinayak Nathji, Mr. Navneet Saigalji, Mr. Akhilesh Mishraji, Mr. Alok Dhawanji, Lakshman Nasar Puriji, and many stalwarts and leaders working in the startup ecosystem. It's a rare pleasure and rare occasion for me to actually participate in such a vibrant event because I am very attached to the word vibrant, so I am using it. I have been thinking on bringing entrepreneurship in UP. Because as was said, that is my passion, to create entrepreneurs, to bring entrepreneurship wherever I work. And perhaps this training has come from no one than our beloved Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and the state which he nursed as Chief Minister. Because Gujarat, आज भी कुछ लोग गुजरात के not an entrepreneur. So I have been trying and thinking. In fact, 1 year back, Honorable Her Excellency, the Governor of Gujarat, she had invited Entrepreneurship Development of Institute, which is housed in Ahmedabad. And since then, I have been focusing, I have been thinking of taking UP forward on that route. And as Mr. Sahgal said, we are not only lucky to have a Prime Minister who thinks of startups, who thinks of entrepreneurship, and he has created a wave of such initiatives in the country. But today, last 5 years and today, we have a visionary Chief Minister in the state of UP also, who can deliver on many of these fronts, including entrepreneurship and startup development. Yesterday, as Mr. Sahgal said, we sat for almost 5 hours from 4 o'clock, maybe more than that, almost 6 hours, from 4 o'clock up to almost 10 o'clock in the night, discussing just entrepreneurship and how industries can be got, how investment can be got from foreign sources and from domestic sources in the state of UP. So this is perhaps, friends, the first and foremost thing I want to tell you is that you are now living in a different UP. It's not the same UP which perhaps was there at the time of your birth, or at the time when I graduated from a university. So it's a very good time, it's a golden period for our state, and you must take advantage of that. The second thing which I want to tell, that this land, India, has been a land of entrepreneurs, has been a land of startups. For fighting wars, what do you think is the Tir Dhanush? Tir Dhanush को क्या आप कहेंगे? Is it not a local frugal innovation of some tribe? Even today, some tribes in our own country, they still carry, जैसे बाकी लोग बंदूक लेके चलते हैं, वो अपने कंधे पे अपने साथ तीर और धनुष लेकर के चलते हैं. I've seen in Dahod of Gujarat. They still carry it, and the targeting is so unfailing that they can kill anyone sitting at 1 kilometer distance. So what is that? Is it not a frugal innovation? Is it not a startup? And more than that, in our culture, in our society, in fact, we are unnecessarily driven by the West. We have to think of our own self. We have to think of our own mythology. We have to think of our own traditions. And it was India which invented things like Pushpak Viman, where vacancy was never a problem. You can fill 1,000 people, you can fill 1,500 people, and still, I have read somewhere in our scriptures that still there used to be one vacancy always. So what is that? You might have Tir Dhanush की बात हुई है. How many of you have heard the story of Savan Kumar? Raja Dasrath killed Savan Kumar. But the arrow which was used by Raja Dashrath was a Sabdbhedi Baan. What is Sabdbhedi? You don't see the target, but you can still hit it. So what is that? Is it not innovation? And leave innovation, is it not artificial intelligence, friends? It is the artificial intelligence which was used by our common people, normal people who used to make arrow and bow and arrow for the kings. We used to have it there at that time. So we are a land of entrepreneurs, we are a land of innovators, we are a land of startups. And the problem which has come in India is that we have started looking towards someone else for getting inspiration in these things. So I want you to focus on your own country, on your own this thing, and from there comes the desire. From there comes the desire and the urgency of helping normal common man in the streets of towns, in the villages where it has agriculture. You may not be aware that in India, the food grain which is produced by a farmer with lot of toil, lot of efforts, it is a large part of it gets wasted. It gets rusted at some railway station, at some godown or somewhere. And I was told sometime that the food grain which India wastes in this process is equal to the food grain consumed by a state like Bihar for the whole year. You can feed the state of Bihar for a full 1 year with the food grain which gets wasted. And the startup has to start from there. How can you help the small farmer? How can you help a marginal farmer in protecting the crop, in protecting the food grain which he has produced with so much? पहले घरों में कोठार होते थे, बड़े-बड़े कोठार होते थे. With passage of time, people have modernized. Now that मिट्टी का कोठार has gone. Now metallic kothars have come, but still there are problems of storage of food grains. In urban areas, the problem of management of urban waste. I am Minister of Urban Department, so I know how difficult is this task. I used to understand this, but I am now understanding it more closely. I can see how getting a garbage out of a house, how to put it in a vehicle and to take it to a place and then to incinerate or to process it to become a productive asset for the society, either gas or bricks or whatever you want to produce. So this chain from a urban waste to a productive and a valuable commodity which is useful for the economy and society, this can be done by startups. This is where we are looking for ideas. This is where we are looking to, and we are committed, as Mr. Sagar said, government is very committed to encourage all these initiatives. So friends, I would expect and I would encourage you to look at these opportunities. Unfortunately, UP has been a state where getting a government job was the first priority, including of myself, and I did get, and I worked also. But unfortunately, our first priority is to many people. When I was an IAS officer, I used to go to my village. Many people of the age of my father, who is no more now, they used to come to my father and wanting him to tell me to get their sons and brothers and sisters some job. Silently, they will also tell me in my ears, भैया अगर कुछ खर्चा करना होगा तो वो भी मैं करेंगे, नौकरी मिल जानी चाहिए. तो मैं कई बार पूछता था कैसा क्या खर्चा करना चाहते, तो क्लब के लिए, चपरासी के लिए कहीं जुगाड़ कर दीजिए, किसी स्कूल में बोल दीजिए, किसी विभाग में बोल दीजिए. और यूपी में तो आप जानते हैं, आप तो गुजरात में हैं, तो यूपी में ये सब चलता है, तो थोड़ा बहुत खर्चा हम. So then I used to ask because I knew the माली हालत of that person. So मैं कई बार पूछता था कि आप कहाँ से ले आओगे पैसा. So they used to go to the extent of telling me कि मैं अपना खेत बेच दूंगा भैया, लेकिन बच्चे को चपरासी में लगवा दीजिए, बच्चे को क्लर्क में लगवा दीजिए. I used to get so aghast and surprised and shocked that this person is ready to sell his piece of land on which his entire livelihood of the entire family depends. He is ready to sacrifice that land for a small job of peon or clerk in a high school or intermediate college or in some office. So this is the situation of UP. I used to tell them कि आप ये जो 1.5 लाख 2 लाख में जो अपना खेत बेचोगे, why don't you spend this money in getting a पान की दुकान खोलो, पान की दुकान और more money for you, हलवाई की दुकान, मिठाई की दुकान खुलवा दो उससे. बट कोई समझता नहीं था. आज भी लोग नहीं समझ पा रहे. Today, even today, we are, and the youngsters particularly, they are running after government jobs, they are running after public sector jobs. We have not learned. We have only learned to get employed. We have not learned to create employment. We have not learned to become employers. So friends, it's a paradigm shift in our own psychology, in our own thinking process. We have to be employers rather than the employees. So that mindset has to change, and not these kids, not these young people, but the mindset has to change. First of all, it has to start with the parents. Parents, they are ready to give 3 chances for an IAS competitor. Many of us have done that. 3 chances, 5 chances. Many competitions they go up to the extent of giving 5 chances, but they will not give 3 chances to a startup who wants to experiment. So I would also urge upon the parents, I would also urge upon the previous generation who has children to allow them, to make them free to make experiments, because certain startups are bound to fail, and that is where the mitigation of Government of India, mitigation funding of the state of UP comes in picture. You will be surprised to know, I think this fact might have been already said by previous speakers, but I am told that out of 112 unicorns in the country, how many of them belong to UP? Only 4 or 5. But 114 unicorns, but 56 of them friends, those unicorns, almost 50% of them, they are headed by a person belonging to Uttar Pradesh. So this is your talent, this is your mental ability, this is your capability. But unfortunately, that person, those 56 persons who are heading those 112 unicorns, they have not been told to open their own startup, they are safe, they feel safer, their family feels safer, their parents and wives feel safer if they are working with somebody. Risk is somebody else's. I am getting my salary, I am doing my good job, I am doing a great job, but still I want to be a salaried person, I want to be a paid person. Not only that, we have, as was said here, we have almost 10% of the startups of the country, almost 88,000 startups, which is the 3rd largest ecosystem of startup. Thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister, we have been able to graduate India into a startup and a thinking country, and in a country which believes in science, which believes in technology. UP also has more than 8,000 startups. We have to train them, we have to nurture them. That is the job of Angel Network. And there also, I read this statistic somewhere just yesterday, that out of 10 top angel networks, angel ventures, 7 of them perhaps, if 6 or 7 of them are headed by people from UP. So 50% of unicorns are headed by us. 70% of angel network, biggest angel networks of the country, I'm not talking of UP, biggest angel networks systems of the country, they are headed by 7 great persons perhaps. He might be one of them. Someone of you sitting here might be one of them, but they are headed by our people in UP. Now then what is it that that UP has to catch on? What it missed, what it lacked was governance. The mental ability, the faculty to work hard, as was said, almost 60% of our population is in the working age. We are the young face of modern India, we are the young face of new India. But we have not done so well in these sectors, just because, if you ask me, because of two reasons. One was governance, lack of proper governance. Because here the leaders, the ministers, before the BJP government, first of all they lacked vision. Secondly, they lacked intention, and that is why UP is where it is. So that governance deficit, friends, that governance deficit is coming to an end. Now, as was discussed here, Honorable Yogi Ji, our Chief Minister, is very focused on development of entrepreneurship along with development in all other fields. So that governance deficit are getting short-term gains out of a deal, out of a project. That is not the nature of BJP leaders, and Honorable Yogi Ji, Honorable Modi Ji have demonstrated this in the country and in the state, time and again. So that short-term gain expectation of politicians, of rulers, of ministers at the top level, that era, that time has gone. The second thing which was missing in UP, as I said, was the temperament, was our own mindset, and that too with the efforts of the government, with the efforts of such networks, with the effort of such events, that also is coming to an end, that bottleneck of doing business or getting a government job. So that deficit of thinking, that deficit of mindset is also perhaps, and that is why I am here. Friends, I would encourage, with all my strength at my command, I would urge upon all of you to look at business opportunities which are appearing, which are coming your way in urban areas, in many of our fields. It may be agriculture, it may be horticulture, it may be food processing, it may be urban waste management, it may be even I'm holding the charge of even electricity department, energy department. Even there is immense scope of innovation of technology, whereby we can serve people better, whereby we can avoid accidents. Only a few days back, I was speaking to the junior engineers of electricity department, and I told them that the number of deaths which happened because of short circuit of electric wires, because of our own shortcomings, we are not able to repair those wires, we are not able to do our job properly. Hundreds of people get electrocuted. Not only that, even our employees who are repairing something or climbing on an electricity pole, they also get electrocuted because the system of alerting them, the system of putting the electricity off and putting it on, that system is not working properly. Hundreds and hundreds of our own employees, they get electrocuted and they die because of negligence or because of some failure of technology somewhere. So these are all areas. Water is going to become a scarce commodity. It is already scarce in certain areas of the state like Bundelkhand, and there we have immense scope of doing water management through a startup using technology. Last but not the least, you are and we are all lucky to be working in a time when UP's face is already marching towards heavy industrialization, like the setting up of defense industrial corridor in a zone like Bundelkhand, which is a very backward zone of UP. Defense industrial corridor, you know that when a big company involved in defense equipment comes, hundreds of vendors come, small vendors, big vendors. They are small vendors, but in terms of size, in terms of their capitalization, they are much bigger than even our big companies. So when a company comes to manufacture, say, fighter jet in Bundelkhand, or it comes to manufacture prepare a fighter tank, they will come along with hundreds and hundreds of vendors, smaller vendors, and there is immense opportunity coming on our way, where startups like you, where young entrepreneurs like you can open your, you can join those experiments, you can benefit from it. So these opportunities, and yesterday only we were listening that you talk of a country, you talk of a nation, and they are interested in India, and now the UP story has also started reaching them. They are now getting interested in UP as well, with the effort of our Honorable Chief Minister. So you are in a very good time. You have a golden period to work on the front of business, industry. Last thing I would say that you have to start. I want to give you a task as a startup, and that first task would be to talk great things about UP. So I hope you will start talking just after this event. And UP is not the same UP, where people used to abuse UP, where we used to be a Bimaru state. Bimaru, you understand? Bimaru state. Nothing can be done about UP. No, that situation has changed. With good governance brought by our Honorable Prime Minister, with good governance brought by our Honorable Chief Minister, that situation has become a situation of history. It is no longer available, and it doesn't prevail in UP of today. So first of all, you have to have your own confidence in your own state, in your own soil, in your own society, in your own economy, which is the third, UP is the third largest economy in the country. So you have to start from there. You don't have to be pessimistic about UP. Being in UP is a matter of pride. Being in UP is a matter of big hope. Second thing, when businesses come and we get the offspring, or we get the byproducts, or we get the this thing, we have to be prepared for those opportunities. A few months back, I was in Bundelkhand. I asked the people of Bundelkhand, suppose the industrial corridor, defense industrial corridor is set up. Suppose there a dozen of defense industrial units, big units, come and start manufacturing plane, start manufacturing tank. Do you have any idea as to how will you take benefit out of this process? They were blank. They didn't know anything. So first of all, we will have to focus on our education. We will have to focus on technical education. Whosoever, I am talking to parents, not only to children and young people who are sitting here. I am talking to parents also. Please do send your boys and girls, sons and daughters to technical education institutions. Even if they are doing BA, even if they are doing MA like me, I have done MA only. So even if they are doing graduation and post-graduation in, say, social sciences, even then, evening and morning, they should go in some computer class, they should go in some polytechnic, some ITI, and try to learn some technical skill. So that is the time where that is the process whereby we will be able to capitalize on the process of industrialization, on the process of innovation. The second thing I would also recommend that even girls can take part as equally or as actively as boys. So UP has to unlearn certain things. कि नहीं हम तो बेटे को ही पढ़ाएंगे, बेटी को नहीं पढ़ाएंगे. We have to all unlearn this social stigma. and we have to get out of it. Only this particular community can take higher education, and that particular community, they are not good in. No, we have to do certain learning and we have to do certain unlearning as well. So UP has to change in terms of mindset. You have very bright future. Lastly, I would also say that you have to create businesses, you have to create opportunities for yourself. Second, you have to be ambassadors of UP also. You have to market UP friends. Unless you market, people or delegations going to say foreign countries. Foreign countries, 16 countries, we covered in just 15 days, 21 cities perhaps. Sagarji was one of them. But how many? How many can you cover like this? What matters more is your own mindset, your own confidence about UP, and you're telling people that no, UP has changed. UP is changing. Now we are going for entrepreneurship. Now we are going for business. Now we are looking for innovation. You have to be ambassadors of UP. And you tell people that it is not the same UP. You tell multi-millionaires, you tell billionaires, you tell the biggest corporates of the world and also corporates of India to come to UP. I would say in my own word, because I used to say the stories like this, tell them that if you want wealth, you should be in UP. And if you want wellness and well-being along with wealth, you must be in UP. So this is where confidence, you have to be in UP in some sense and you should be in UP in the other sense. So I'm telling you that the biggest deficit of UP, the governance deficit has been bridged, that gap has been filled by the BJP government under the august leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister Shri Yogi Adityanath ji. We are all working towards great future, creating great opportunities in UP, and I wish you all the best. You are born and you are working in a very good time of seeing UP. UP has to be the new face of new India. UP has to be the young face of new India. Friends, UP has to be the entrepreneurial face of young India. Not only Gujarat, not only Maharashtra, but we have to be the entrepreneurial face of modern India. I wish you all the best. I also thank the organizers for organizing this event, and I also thank them for making me participate in this vibrant setting. I wish you again all the very best. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.